what we plan for this. So we have named it this 50 years. I'm calling it Together We Can Reach for the Stars. So our initiative is what we call as MANCH. So MANCH is, if it was a U, it was a chocolate, but if it's A, I think the Sanskrit word means a platform. And frankly, to be very honest, we have heard today many different perspectives. And actually, I for sure do not know how to build a deep tech ecosystem. But the idea is, but in Bangalore city, at least in this room, there are enough expertise. If you bring them together and engage with them in constructive discussion, we hope you can achieve some things. And that is the whole point of this platform. This is this interesting picture by Linda Carmel. So you see that if all of us can collaborate together, we can reach amazing heights. And that is the point about this picture. So I mean, just to say, reach for the stars. I mean, to me, this phrase means that you set yourself a challenging goal, and can you achieve it? That's what we mean. And in 50 years, we've done enough things, and hopefully, we should do new things, right? So with these inspirational sounding words, so let us quickly give a glimpse of the department, and then we will come to the agenda. So our department was started in 1969, and in 1986, it was renamed as Computer Science and Automation. So somewhere I always, when we joined the department, when I was a student, I was overawed by the department's good name in doing amazing research, and that awe has still remained. And the power of the awe has come not from somebody teaches great. It's part of the department, at least to me, was that great ideas have come. So one of the ideas I would like to call out, which was didn't happen today, was been mentioned in that detail. I think this is a New York Times article, and where they, in the article's main ideas from the future. And Simputer is one of those items, which was made for an Indian market, and was built by professors of this department. I mean, some of them are here, right? So these kind of ideas, and then taking them and impacting people. So how can we make this more commonplace? This was 2000. So we should be able to, can we build some platform, something, where these kind of things, every year something like this happens. And that is the whole goal. And that, so what an interesting thing about Simputer is, as you said, right, fine market, India, etc., right? So Simputer, there are a lot of articles on Simputer. But this article is right for one reason. It says that this is if Gandhi had invented it, then Steve Jobs and Gandhi you put together, you get Simputer. I mean, that was the perspective. It was a very nice perspective. Anyway, it was a journalist perspective, so we don't have to do that. But I think very well articulated. And this is this kind of spirit or ethos we'd like to see, where our technology would help impact our citizens. So now here. So let's congratulate him for that. Right? So somewhere, where have we lost it? Why those such ideas don't become so commonplace? This is, as an academic, this bothers me. I mean, anyway, I'm incapable of doing something to do something like this. But anyway, so one thing I was thinking that, okay, so let us see how good are we in research. Now, there are many rankings, right? But I think in computer science, some rankings are getting rough traction. It's called csrankings.org. Because if you do global rankings, it's mixed up many things, right? So this ranking, any ranking is questionable, but this ranking, it says CS departments around the world. Let us rank them. So I'll just take, 1970 to 2019. Why did I choose that? The department existed that way. There's also another point that ranking doesn't allow you to search beyond that. So it starts in 1970. Anyway, it's strategic for us. So if you see, so we are number 14th position. I think, but you see, if you now change, see, this is today morning. See tomorrow, this number might change here and there. So we are probably in the top 15 things in Asia. Now, now today we heard this ML and AI talk. It's also strategic for me because I work in this area. Let us see in ML AI what we are doing. We are in top 10 over the last 50 years. So last 50 years, top 10, why? That's another story, something has to be said. There are a lot of books written and, pioneering books, pioneering programs, pioneering courses all kinds of things have happened that make this happen. Another interesting thing is, look at the top university. Tsinghua is great. Number of faculty is 33. We are number 8. We are only 8. I mean, so I should not say one should not take these numbers with as only indicative. So the fact is that with far less number of faculty, you can do many, many good things as far as research is concerned, right? But then we all agree that maybe this number is saying your top 10 universities, but there are also other universities there which you have not mentioned, but they may have more impact, if you wish. Now how can I do something about it? That is where we are coming from. So this is our Golden Jubilee year. So Golden Jubilee year, I mean, this probably is a cliched sentence now. So Golden Jubilee year, what do? You plus 50 years, what you have happened, you celebrate them and also prepare for your future, right? So what I'm going to do, we just talked about what happened in the past. Simputer, Strand, great things. But what's going to come next? So for that, so as we said, if you go back to our theme, reaching for the stars. So I think, see, my reading in this business literature is very less. So other day I was talking to Bharat, he taught me a nice word. He said that one way to understand deep tech, and that stuck with me, is to see that usual tech disrupts, deep tech transforms. There's a big difference between these two. At least it struck to me. I get this point. See, when something is not there, you don't even think about it. Deep tech will bring that thing out. It will not try to disrupt. Maybe Bharat can say more about this. But anyway, so idea is to create technology which can transform society, right? So now here today we heard there are at least 50 plus companies in the last 5 years. And that is also not a list which is not complete, if I may say so. There are many, many more companies, right? So they are working in many domains, and most of them you see that at least in their own way trying to transform things. It is not that they're trying to, okay, existing, I'll change a little bit here and there. So now our aim is to be partner with these people and to see what we could do. So now I have to say homework was given. We reached out to some startups. We asked them to fill some forms. So I'm sure they're very busy. So most of them didn't fill it. So we got only 10 responses. So small sample, we are here, many ML experts. A small sample is the bias sample. But anyway, the bias sample tells us that we asked this question, what can IISc do? He said that first thing you need mentorship. Can you create better lab infrastructure where you can test out things, focused workshop on latest research. Can you create new data sets? There are plenty of other things. So long story short, please fill out that form. And then that will give us some ideas how to do that. Homework is given, right? So now, so the idea is that we are calling this initiative as MANCH. So I think we circulated a paper there. Some of you have got it, I guess, during the reception desk. So this is, as we are calling it, just to give an acronym, as I said, MANCH is a platform. So we think machines, algorithms, and entrepreneurs, if they come together and solve challenging problems, right, we have a nation transformed. I mean, so now, and of course, CSA Golden Jubilee year, now we very soon realize that CSA alone cannot do it. It's also EECS together. So pardon me for being a little biased towards CSA everywhere, but it's also EECS together. So together, so now this platform, the aim is to create transformational technologies which will have societal outcomes, something like Simputer and other things, right? Now, how do you achieve this? So frankly, we have listed some very high-level bullet points. We hope this meeting will create a network, and through the network we'll actively engage and create out more specific things. But first thing is, the fact is that we are top 10 in machine learning in Asia for the last 50 years. But can we say, what is the translation impact of it? Maybe we have not that much to show for. So probably we should focus more on translation of research. And now, so now here translation rests on, I guess, 3 things. One is, as we heard, IP, research, etc., right? Another is innovation part. Fundamentals to then technology part, that's the machines part. And then businessmen should come together, entrepreneurs. Then that should be, go out in the world. So now these are the 3 points we have written down this. So first of all, we identify partners here. I guess people here in this room would happily help us in this journey. Now, so once you got these partners in translation, then you have to take specific steps, right? So idea is not to talk like this, but to take specific steps. For example, one thing is, for example, can we send our ME students for internships to startups, right? Now, this don't want to hold ourselves to this. We want to hear the startups, we want to discuss with them, engage with them, and come up with specific action items which we can do something about. So now amongst this, apart from this, the entrepreneur residents, we heard this internship of students, etc. So one of the things that comes out that can we launch incubators / accelerators with institutional oversight. So these things are in the works. And we hear Bharat Innovation Fund, for example, were very patient and they were very kind to say that they would be happy to partner. But all this is in the discussion phase, right? Now, hopefully, when we looked at the small sample survey, some people are also saying that no, your IP issues are a little bit slow, etc., etc. So, I mean, so we can engage with them more to understand, are there any bottlenecks can they identify? So and then we can take concrete action items. Hopefully we want to achieve this over a year. So now today our goal is this, that we plan to do 3 or 4 research workshops over the year. That is like every 2 months one. And then we'll at least have 2 workshops to identify, where you talk about business related things. Right? This is a rough idea, but this will be, so you'll hear more concrete details very soon. So at this point I can only tell you this. Roughly what we are thinking, in 6 weeks' time, we'll try to hold a startup day. So this I call is Meet the Stars part 1. Why part 1? Because we did not give time for the startups to speak. Meet the Stars, we should be allowing them to speak. So that will happen, that we're trying to do it in the next 6 weeks. We'll try to announce it, a date and an event. And then startups will come and say what the whole day we'll have to spend with them, right? So that's the first event that's going to happen. More details will come as we go along. So, I mean, some milestones we set ourselves. For example, launch new programs. By launch new programs, I mean that entrepreneur residence or something like that, ME students internships or something like that. So launch some programs like that, which will immediately have some action. And then incubator accelerator is there. But the last point is very, very important. So now, I mean, I think what we heard the following things is right? Now, is there, the problem which you are solving, is it hard enough? And does it matter to the people at large? Maybe in this case, local, everybody said, what good thing of deep tech is that if you do deep tech, you must do something, it's automatically you have to do for the country. Because if you're deep tech, if you're moving to the US market, it's not going to work. You don't have a sales team there. Right? And what we hear is people are not going to put money in deep tech. So you're poor, you have to be here in India and to solve problems. So having said that, that's a nice outlook, So now, so when we source problems, we source research challenges. Now today I do not really know, frankly it's my own education, I do not know what are the 5 problems which I can solve, which I at least attempt to solve, which has immediate business impact. And business impact should not be vacuous. I'm not saying that, oh, business impact means you do great work, somebody will come and no. I must put a name to it, a face to it. That is, okay, if I can solve this problem, I can call Chetan, or I can call Mr. Murali, or or Bharat Innovation Fund, or somebody. And then we'll immediately see something like this. So maybe with our startup friends, we can write down, and our venture capitalist friends, we can write down some challenge problems. Now this is the homework by January, right? So you must get busy. So thank you for listening. So what we'll do is, we're already a little late, so I will, so let's spend like 5-10 minutes. If you have any questions, then we'll close this session and then we will have this. So I'll be happy to take any questions if you have about this event and also the panel discussion or the program as a whole. Right? So if you have any questions, what did I do? Yeah. Okay, so if there are no other questions, I'm sure it's a long day. So let's close the session that way. So before I close the session, then so unfortunately our divisional chair and chair, they all wanted to be here, but for some reasons, for some really emergency reasons, they cannot be here. So it is my pleasure to thank all these people who have worked very hard for this event. Especially I can't thank Bharat enough. He has called, I think, And I think Bharat probably hasn't got about his student days. I think you did some night out also for this event, right? Right. So this is that commitment you want, right? So yeah. So there are several student volunteers who have made this happen. So also this our office staff or CSA office staff. They did amazing things. And last of all the speakers who have taken their time out from their extremely busy day to give their perspectives. We can't thank them enough. But the point is that please don't take it as a one-off event. We'll call on you again, maybe as you said, 6 months time, right? So thank you again for